Hello, everyone. Hello, family. I'm so happy to be back with everyone, even backstage. You can join us backstage if you don't know, and we chat, we ask God more questions, and we just talk about what we talk about. So I'm excited to be back. And Candace, so excited to see Candace's face today.
I
Uh,
know.
and today, I don't even know what you put on the thing. So you say what the
What did I put? What I said? How to hold up, stay ready, but with Jesus.
All right. So I felt like I've been through a storm and back. But I feel good. And just excited today is tax day. So everyone, sorry if you haven't gotten your taxes, but do your taxes. Uh, We can help you after today. Um, we're And I'm just excited. All the songs today, I was telling Candace that we're playing on the playlist, were all really good songs, celebration-like songs. I'm so blessed. Um, so good. I love that song so much right now.
Do
And
too.
then celebration and trust in God. And that was the last song. And today, the version app verse of the day is going to be like our beginning today. And if you don't have the YouVersion app, and my dog likes to talk right now, um, it's Mark 13:33. So if you want to find that in your Bible, you can go do that. And Candace, you read it because Poppy wants to go outside.
Okay, I'll read it. I got to get back to it. 13. We're going to start with 32. We're just going to read this whole little section. This section is, we're reading from the NIV version. If you are following along and yours seems different, it's a different version. That's why. But this is under the section in our Bibles that says the day and hour unknown. And this is actually like right after the section that is talking about, hold on, the destruction of the temple and end times and signs of end times. Okay, so verse 32 says, "But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. It is like a man going away. He leaves his house and puts his servants in charge, each with their assigned tasks, and tells the one at the door to keep watch. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know when the owner of the house will come back, whether in the evening or at midnight, or when the rooster crows or at dawn. If he comes suddenly, do not let him find you sleeping. What I say to you, I say to everyone, watch." And yesterday we were talking in the Bible study about surrendered submission and living a life in surrendered submission. And this verse and this section is really, like Cheryl and I were talking, is brought up for her, it brought up awareness. And for me, it brought up intentionality. So I'll talk to my intentionality and then she can talk to her awareness. But it's like, make sure what you're doing, that you're ready. And that's where we got the title, like ready at all times. But the difference that both of us had felt in the past was when you're being ready, trying to be ready by yourself, it 100% feels like striving. It 100% feels like burnout. It and will almost 100% guarantee that you will at some point lead you to burnout when you're doing it all by yourself, because you're doing it by yourself. And but then even when you start like walking closer with God, the desire is like big, the high, everything just like normal with a normal starting anything new, right? Like I'm starting this new workout, and it might feel fun at first until it feels boring, right? Um, but the key to me, and this was actually, I happened upon, not really me, God through YouTube, put an older podcast from Elevation Youth in my view yesterday, where Pastor Stephen was talking about, they were asking about his like morning routine, or like what does he do, because he's a very structured seeming person. Well, it's also his son was interviewing him, but he was saying it's not so much in the what you're doing, it's just in the intention, the why you're doing it. And he always wants to like encourages to start your day with like strengthening your body in some way. And for him, it like he feels like he's so much in the word and in paper stuff that if he could very easily get away from that. And I am living that right now myself, and currently doing a 3-day water fast to kickstart my body back into healthy decisions, but bringing back to the forefront of my focus the intentionality of what I'm putting in my body and what I'm doing for my body, because my body is a temple for God. So coming back to the living surrendered and submitted, that was the difference yesterday. A lot of people live surrendered, but they're not fully submitted to God. And here's how, to me, here's how you can know, and then I'm gonna pass it to Cheryl when she gets back. To me, it almost is like you'll take a good thing and turn it into a checklist, and then the checklist just becomes like, I have to do the checklist versus versus the why behind what the checklist was originally created for, right? So like taking a walk, and you're like, I want to get 3 walks in a week. And I have totally shifted to media. It's more of like, and I need to brush up on my intentionality of my mornings with God, like doing something with God in the morning intentionally. But it's like, okay, God, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with me today? What do we want to do today? And maybe it is a walk. Maybe it is, I'm just going to pop on this little walking pad for 5 minutes in between calls. Maybe it's, I'm just going to sit in my Bible, but it's the intentionality for me. What about you?
Yeah, and just saying, like Jesus saying, be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. Um, and then it's like a man going away leaves his house, puts his servants in charge, but it says each with their assigned tasks. And it's and I would ask God, okay, what's my assigned task? Because sometimes like we are saying, like if we're not with Jesus in it, with God and walking with God, we would just make up our own assigned tasks, like you just said. Like we would have that three times a day and all this stuff. But when you were talking about stay ready, it brought me to Lana's volleyball. And she has grown so much this season, and she was started the season in a different position that she's um, ever been in. And so she had to learn a new position, which she was like all for, because I raised my children not to complain. Um, and um, so this tournament, like at the Vegas tournament, she got to play her normal position, but then she was moved to another position because one of the girls had to leave early. And then this tournament she played a totally different position, which she has always wanted to play. So it's just like that just brought to me like she has to stay ready, even though we don't know like who our coach or who God's gonna put us in there for. Um, or what we have to do next, but knowing that He's equipped us with the things that we have been doing. And so we don't have to strive to do like the extra things. I think just me thinking about like career, if back and Lana was so funny because today she was talking about like, oh, we were talking about you guys, um, like in our class, probably history class, because they were talking about baby boomers and millennials. So there is because I was like, we're working from home now. She's like, yeah, a lot of you guys do that now. Like you guys talking about us. And then and I was like, yeah, but some like before I thought like a baby boomer, and I was in a job for a long period of time, and I didn't have plans of leaving that job. Um so like knowing, I don't know where this is going, but oh, like knowing where your next step is gonna be. Um, we have our business at home, and I just was like, okay, but maybe I could do something that could help a little bit more. I feel like my time's a little bit more free. And just realigning my thoughts around authority and all this stuff made me think about like, oh, should I look for another job? And so I my background is like it was a political background, and then I came up to like now what am I doing? So, and I was also watching a show where this mom didn't work for 10 years. She's like, oh, but what am I going to do? So when I was looking for, I didn't even tell Candace this, when I was looking for stuff to do, because I was not, not looking, or I was looking, but not looking. I don't know what you say about that. But when I was realigning my relationship with authority, I thought that was one of my places where I was like, I don't feel called to go back to work, but I also maybe I'm not feeling called to go back to work because of my relationship with authority.
Mm.
And so I was like, so what could my skills be? And I feel like God has kept me in a stay ready mode and walking closer with him, believing in God, trusting his ways. It feels like I'm ready for whatever needs to come my way. And now just being more aware of that has helped me be more confident in it. And I went all in a big circle, but
No, but that's perfect because the difference too is like in the past, there would have been like you directing, and I'm saying this like I was doing it too, us directing where it was going versus just being ready for anything because we know God's got us in it all. And there was anxiety and pressure added on to that beforehand. And I know that a lot of people live in that. And
yeah,
so, and it could be easy to read this verse and feel anxiety, right? Like, oh my
yeah,
God, I got to be ready. What if I make the wrong step and I'm
yeah,
not ready when God comes back? Calm down, in the words of Cheryl, calm down. Uh, God knows your heart, and He knows that He knows what your intentions are, even if you are slightly off the path. He knows where the ultimate root of your heart is. So release the pressure, give it to Him, and ask Him for like the guidance and the peace. And that's why I love that we are living that peace that surpasses understanding and the comforter of all comforters. Like, and joy no matter what in all trials. Like, we are living the Bible out and we can experience it. And maybe it is because we're grooming ourselves and conditioning ourselves to believe it. But hey, why not do that versus the old path, right? Because that anxiety, that burnout, that overwhelm, that pressure, performance pressure, like, who wants to live that way? And I love that you I say this because your kids are like younger. I feel like you're in like a good,
different.
I'm not, it's not that I'm not doing it. It's just that I hear your examples and you just shared your examples. But you get to be that guiding force and that building that foundation with your kids. And we all get to do that if you're a parent. And if you're not a parent, you get to do that with your community. Okay. So like you can go and in your workplace, and I was on the e-group um, everyday worship was our last session today for the group I'm in because we did it every other week instead of weekly. But and they were talking about how are you being the church wherever you are. Okay, and church is obviously not a building. It's God's extension of God and Jesus. How are you being the church wherever you are? And yes, Thomas, I love that verse. But you get to versus like it just the pressure just relieves, it falls off of us. But I'm going to read this verse that Thomas found for us, and I love this verse, so thank you. Philippians 1:6 says, being confident of this very thing, that he who hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. And in the NIV version, he who began a good work will see it to completion. Okay, until Jesus returns. So it is a process, but when you are walking with him, you're like, eating bonbons on the way because you're like, and no, that doesn't mean like every single thing is going to be happy and you're going to be happy
And I'm
every
not gonna
second.
eat bonbons.
I need to go find a bonbon. I always use that joke. Like, what do you think? I'm sitting around eating bonbons? No. But it's basically like you don't have to worry about the pressure of guiding because God is guiding and you're just walking it. And I think this is the perfect transition into your psalm.
Okay. And then, yeah, so just like to finish
Yeah.
the part of how Lana has to stay ready for a position, like you could see, like she did have like some anxiety, some like pressure, and just to, and yes, that was there because she just kind of was like, your coach was like, I'm gonna put you in, but like to, and she's younger, but like if she like focuses on refining that process in her head, like just be ready and wherever you are, just play that position and don't second guess yourself. Just it's like you're putting your trust in whatever your coach is doing versus I know this is becoming like
Well,
a but
well,
yeah.
I have an example too because I stepped in as coach for my daughter yesterday with my youngest daughter's team, but my oldest daughter is the coach and she's traveling. And there was one girl who got nervous when she was serving every time. And I'm like, it's all right, you got this. And I'm like, just take a deep breath, release the breath, and hit the ball. And then it's like when you are feeling anxiety and pressure and whatever, if you can take it and release it to God, which I didn't say that to her on the court. I just said, here's a step and it's going to shift your focus because her focus was, oh my God, what if I don't go over the net or it goes out of bounds? And then every single time, guess where the ball is going? Not
Yeah.
over the net or out of bounds, right? So if you can just shift your focus and in those moments, lean into the strength that you know he has and you know he tells us to cast our fears and our anxiety on him. So do it. Pull from his strength.
Yes. Pull from his strength.
Amen.
And then today, this morning, another psalm that was, oh my gosh, Poppy is very loud, so you can do it.
I couldn't even hear her, but okay.
Okay, good.
Okay. Cheryl's friend, our RMP friend, sent her Psalm 84:11, and we were talking about that's like her birth year and her birth date, which is funny. And it says, "For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those whose walk is blameless." There's so much here, you guys. Sun, a guiding light, warmth when you're cold, energy, like anything you can think about the sun. Like let God be your sun. Start following the light in the words of David from the movie. Okay? Follow the light, follow the sun and the SON. SUN and SON. Follow both of them, right? And then your shield. You don't have to worry about bad things, which we're going to dive into tomorrow. You don't have to worry about bad things because he's your protector. He will not, it says it right here, he will not withhold good things to those who are walking with him. And I know it says those whose walk is blameless, but really, if you're walking with him, he's taken like, you keep just coming and repenting and like, and positioning your heart. He's gonna, and moving your feet, he's gonna know that you're good. You're gonna be considered blameless. Okay. So don't let that overwork itself in your head. And then there's a promise in here. And in addition to no good things withheld. So like, even if it sucks right now, there's something good that is in here. Like it becomes a mystery. So if you can start going and using whatever verses you need and helping you shift your brain and shift your focus and expectations, it takes off so much more pressure. But there's another promise in the second line of my Bible. It says, "The Lord bestows favor and honor." You are favored and honored even if you're not walking closely with him. He wants to give you more, but you're limiting your own favor and your own honor and your own goodness because you're telling God how bad you are or how far off the path you are or how unworthy you are or how dirty you are. And God's sitting here like, come on, man, come on, you're my child. Like, come on, just come to me. So there's so much promise in that verse.
Yeah, and the last 2 weeks have been seeming like a whirlwind of stuff, and um it felt like I was far away from God, even though I was reading a verse, I was reading my Ask God prayer. It's just like I was out of the RMP rhythm. And I missed it so much that I felt like far away from God. Like even yesterday when we had our Bible study, I was like, I feel kind of choppy. I feel kind of distracted. I feel like all those words were coming to my head. And even in our life group, they're talking about like, "Oh, why do you think you don't talk to God, or why do you not feel close to God?" And they're like, because I'm time distracted, all these things like, but like we stay ready, but God's always ready. Like he stays ready for when we're ready to get back to him. And so just like going back to my Ask God prayer, it just felt choppy, but it felt good. And then all the things I was sending to Candace, I was like, and then the U version prayer talked about distraction. I was like, is it listening to me change when I look at it? Um, like all these things. I'm sure they get data of people and all this stuff.
Live moment. Oh, today
Yeah.
Cheryl's in. Okay. To me, that is more of the universal
It was God
connection through
alignment,
God.
God alignment.
Yes, it's God, period.
Uh, and then talking about Shema, and then I saw Shema. But that just showed me like God is always with us. Like even though we think we're far, we like quote unquote think we're far. We're not far. We could just go right up to the fire again. And I love that the relationship of like father, because you can go to your parents and they'll still love you. They'll still do all these things for you.
Mm,
Uh, Even if you think you've strayed away, or you make up all this stuff in your head basically that you're bad, and it could be bad stuff. And we're going to talk about more good and bad tomorrow. But it's us, like you just said, limiting ourselves to receive the love because
yes,
we feel we're unworthy.
yes. And he tells us many times. But if we want the how for this, look up back at 84:1, which is my date. And it says, "How lovely is your dwelling place, Lord Almighty." So God is always there. His door is open. He's at your door knocking. Are you opening the door for him? Are you getting a meeting with him in any way, shape, form, or capacity? And I really want to challenge people, and I see backstage, Sonny said, "I feel choppy in my own Bible studies for some reason, also in business." I feel like whenever those times come up, it's an invitation to update. Okay. So what does that mean, Candace? I'm going to say that I'm going to focus on the Bible study and then we can apply it to business. But Bible study, there are times when, even though it's like a 40-day devotional or a 30-day devotional, however many days, there's times when we need to slow down and sit with the one day for a whole week, maybe, or maybe 2 weeks. And then there's also times where God might need you to like, because maybe that became a checkbox rather than the intentions might have slipped or shifted unknowingly and definitely unconsciously most of the time. Just like in my business, I can tell you when I can almost like in hindsight look back on my beauty business and pinpoint the exact moment when my intentions unintentionally, subconsciously shifted, and then the results also shifted, and it's all for a purpose, right? So that we're not going to go into that purpose. That purpose led me to coaching. Coaching led me to here, and here we are. Okay, that's the short version. But if that is happening, it's an invitation to update. And it's not us solving the problem. You don't need to go try to solve the problem yourself. You need to get with God in whatever way He's calling you in that moment. Maybe it is through a song lyric. Maybe you're just listening to one song over and over. And I know Sonny was here back then, but there was a song called The Truth, right? Is that what it's called? The
Yeah.
Truth is?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and whenever that song came up for me, I literally made that a Bible study one week. Like I was on this like this is where I'm going. No, 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 no. We're gonna just break apart the lyrics of this song. Okay, so maybe it's the lyrics of one song. Maybe you're just washing yourself in that one song over and over, and God is just speaking to you in different ways through it. Maybe it's the Bible. Maybe you just get into the Word. I will tell you the first place I would go if you feel distant from God would be look at your Bible. Maybe you can do either the open test, which a lot of people will shun, but I am not a lot of people. I am the one out of the 99 who will tell you that works for me about 99% of the time. But, or you can go to your, what's it called? The beginning of the Bible word, table of contents. And you can kind of just look around and then pray and say, okay, God, where are you sending me today? Where do you want me to go today? And just see where you feel drawn, whatever book, and then go open that book. Look at the headings. Like let him speak to you because those are his actual words. Okay. So those are the ways I would say to reconnect. And
And also just like my version would be to just start again. Because sometimes we beat ourselves. We're like, oh, but we were this far and we were this thing, and it's fine. Just start again. Just take that next step. I think one of the verses I shared, because I haven't been sharing a lot of shorts on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I'm out of my routine. I don't know what to do. Like, you're gonna doubt yourself. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to like. Just do it. Like, just start. And I looked at my drafts. Like, I didn't know what to post, and all these things. I looked at my drafts, and then I heard um a verse on the radio, and they were talking about the verse, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like that was a reason why I didn't post, and it brought us new followers and brought us like our normal, like our typical thing. And I was like, that's God. And that's why like sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the time we overcomplicate just starting again and
mhm.
like what we need to do, how we need to do it. But like I love that Candace is doing the fast and just doing it. Even though
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard, like you could talk yourself way out of it, like
yeah.
real quick.
And
Uh
this one was more about intentionality too, because
yeah.
I started on 414, which is Esther's, for such a time as this. In my brain, that's just what 414 is that. And I was like, okay, so what is the intentionality I'm putting behind this fast? And I thought about this before I went into the fast, and it was not to lose weight, which I have definitely done. It is, it was to reset my body and to reset my relationship with food and water. That was it. I was
And
like,
God.
all right, I'm keeping
And
it
God.
simple. And I ultimately would like to get to a point where I could do a fast for like the Real Missing Piece community or something like that. But for right now, God kept telling me my health is it. And you want to know how? I'll be completely vulnerable right now. Seeing photos of myself or seeing myself in a mirror, a full body mirror, and I'm like, I have definitely let that go way too far. And then when God, I think it was on last at the Bible study. This is actually like a little not completely before it, but after it. Yes, I asked yesterday after the Bible study, where am I hesitating? Even though I was trying to not hesitate with this water fast, not the hesitating of doing it because I know I can do them now, but the hesitating of like intentionalities and whatever, and believing like, can I even get back down that little? Like, I don't even want to get little. I just want to be healthy. I want my body to be healthy. I don't have like a set weight, or I just want to feel good in my skin. And he literally called me out. He's like, you're hesitating with the seemingly impossible. And he
Mm.
sent me into Matthew 9:19-26, which says, Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. So Do women in their 40s tend to start entering perimenopause and have a difficult time of losing weight or getting back in shape, building muscle? Yes, but and he literally told me over here, he said, um, just because you know, he said, unbelievable due to experience or statistical worldly facts. Like, bro, God's just like, calm down. But believe in me and
Calm
take it
down.
one step at a time. Yes, literally. Like, believe in the impossible because with God, it is possible. Everything is possible. And it goes back to your, to the verse today. Like, we don't know when it's going to happen, but all we know is we can take that next step. So take your
Yeah.
next step.
Yeah. And he's saying, watch.
Yeah,
Watch
watch.
it. Watch
Watch
it.
me.
Watch
He
me
said,
work.
watch
Watch.
me twerk.
No,
Like, watch. Period. The word of the day. Watch.
watch. No, it's an
Watch me cook.
exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
Yep. In the
Be on guard,
NIV.
exclamation mark. Be alert, exclamation mark. Watch. Like all the explanation marks so we can pay attention.
Watch.
And yeah, just like watch or like look back. You can look back and you could see it, watch him work in whatever you did before that. That's what came up in our life group too. And we are doing a fast on Saturday and into Sunday. And so I'm excited and we're doing like a prayer walk while we're breaking before we break the fast. So I'm excited to share what comes out of that too. But like just start and if you need help with that, you can watch our videos because the videos always I even watch the videos again.
Me too. Like,
Um,
I was there, but I
yeah.
wasn't there.
And you'll just get something new out of it. And I'm just excited to keep going and to stay ready with all of you. Um, and much more to come. I think
Yes.
tomorrow's activation call is going to be really good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Better than we even know. We don't even know.
Well, I'm excited to be back because it's been a long 2 weeks. So
Yeah, it was. I miss my friend, all of you.
I'll
It was weird. Oh, and like then one more thing and then we're gonna go.
okay, okay.
Last week, I was like, I can do the Bible study, but I can't do the other calls. And then when Cheryl couldn't do it, I'm like, girl, just take the week. Like, I'm like, she's all trying to, maybe I can. I'm like, no, 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 just take the week. God is like, even though it's been, well, we started on a different platform, but same thing. And then it's been like a year. I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We got this. And actually,
God's got this.
a year today for, anyway, yeah, God's got this.
Oh yeah,
And
you're today.
and we needed the break and in the way that we didn't even think we would need it because we both felt disconnected, but it helps you to see what it's like when you have him. So all right, if this was helpful, please like it, leave us a comment, tell us what stood out for you, tell us what you're working through. We love to communicate with you, and we hope to see you tomorrow on the activation call because it's going to be fire.